Good Monday morning. I want to share with you a little excerpt of King Nebuchadnezzar's testimony. Listen to this in chapter 4 of Daniel. I, Nebuchadnezzar, blessed the Most High, and I praised and honored him who lives forever. For his dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom endures from generation to generation. All the inhabitants of the earth are accounted as nothing, and he does according to his will among the host of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth. And none can stay his hand or say to him, "What have you done?" Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and extol and honor the King of heaven, for all his works are right and his ways are just, and those who walk in pride he is able to humble. What an amazing testimony of one who was full of pride himself and was humbled and then brought to this point. I'm sure that Nebuchadnezzar's conversion was not recorded in the record books, but I'm convinced his name is recorded in the book of life in heaven, and I hope to meet King Nebuchadnezzar one day in heaven. Once he himself was full of pride. He worshiped himself. He demanded that everybody around him worship him. Daniel and his three friends, of course, refused, and you know the story. But it was because they maintained their testimony, even in the face of death, even though they stood faithful to their God. They maintained a witness in a winsome way. Surely Daniel's influence was a deciding factor in what led to Nebuchadnezzar's conversion. They didn't poke Nebuchadnezzar in the eye. They won him over with their faithfulness, with their sense of righteousness and justice, with their testimony, with their witness. So that leads me to ask us a question and then an application. The question is this: what are people seeing in us today? What do they see in the behavior of Christians today? Do they see us as bitter, as self-righteous, demanding our rights? Profiteers who are only interested in money? Oh, I watched an ad last night by a Christian shyster, somebody who is giving away packets of miracle water. And if you joined his ministry, he gave testimony of a couple of people who, I looked in the mail and I received a check for $40,000. Is this what the world sees in Christians? What kind of a witness are we making to the world around us? In a day when they need us to be so faithful and to have a more winsome and effective witness. So what are people seeing in us? And then the application is this: let us pray for our leaders diligently, regularly, faithfully. Pray for our president. Pray for our governors. Pray for our mayors. They need the Lord. They need salvation. They need wisdom. Pray for their salvation. It won't be recorded in the history books, but may their names be recorded in the book of life. Pray for our leaders and maintain a winsome testimony as Daniel and his three friends did. May God help us today to be a light in a dark, dark world.